Hello my friends, we have tons of the interesting news for today, and let's start from the military map update. This one comes from the Russian Z military channel Rybar, where he complains about the Ukrainian territorial success in the direction of Komar. Just want to show you the place we're speaking about. So eastern Ukraine, let's zoom into this area, Zeleny High, and this is Komar. In this area, Ukraine counterattacks in multiple of the directions, and here not far away is Mirnograd and Pokros, just for you to understand the location. Now let's go back to this map. It's kind of the controversial one because it is coming from the Russian side and they put more of the red zones compared to what it actually is. They're telling that Ukraine is not yet in Zeleny High, but Ukrainian forces were spotted there before. And I would say almost all of those settlements at the very edge of the front lines, they're already in the gray zone because Ukrainian sabotage groups were spotted. Russian analysts, they're putting all of the settlements where Russians were spotted into the red zone for Ukraine. Sometimes they put in the gray one. But anyways, Russians have to recognize that they lost the advantage in this direction already. It was in the comments towards this map, and they put lots of the Ukrainian counterattacks towards Otradne and from Zeleny High. Russians are also mentioning about the drop of the aviation gliding bomb activity from their side and the increase in those from the Ukrainian side at this specific direction. So the last months Russia dropped 2 times less aviation gliding bombs in this direction and also in Gulay-Pole compared to the previous months. And for the Russian army, the aviation gliding bomb strikes is the main factor in their successful, partially at least for now, successful movement in some of the spots. Like for example in Konstantinivka, it was their tactics to destroy Ukrainian positions completely with a part of the city and later on to send small infantry groups. So it is working, but why they reduced the presence of the aviation here? Well, I'm not sure, but maybe it is connected to some of their aviation losses the previous months and what happened recently, because Ukraine, according to Russian information, has deployed also Patriot systems not that far away from the front lines. And also Ukraine is using F-16 fighter jets. Allegedly, a couple of days ago, Russian Sukhoi 35 was shot down by Ukrainian F-16. It happened for the first time, but again, we don't have the actual evidence or proofs of that information. It was said by Russians, it was said by some of the Ukrainian sources, but the actual data cannot be cross-checked. We have just the evidence that Russia lost Sukhoi Su-35. There was even the video filmed by the 3rd Army Corps, one of their brigades, and they show how the plane fell down on the territory somewhere, maybe occupied region, and later on they flew with a drone to cross-check what happened there, and definitely those are the remains of the jet, you see? The silhouette of the airplanes. This is the wing, this is an empennage. I hope it is visible, so Russia lost it. It's been confirmed, but how was it shut down? For now, it's definitely hard to say. Yeah, the signal has been distorted. Probably Russia is using electronic warfare, or maybe the drone is just very low. Flying and filming this object, yeah, definitely Russia lost the jet, the most advanced one. Yeah, sorry for the flashing image, but that is the evidence we have. My friends, just a short reminder, which is very important for this channel, don't forget to press like to this video and also subscribe for the channel. It matters a lot. We are on the way to reach 1 million subscribers. Hopefully it's gonna be this year. And my friends, also if you can, you may support my job on Patreon or on membership of YouTube by pressing button join, of course, if you watch me on YouTube, because I also have a Spotify channel. Guys, you're amazing, you're awesome, and let's continue with the video. And also Ukraine has some turn success in Mala Tokmachka. Ukraine pushed Russian forces away from the local jail, and Russia tried to occupy it for the 3rd time already, and before they went there with the forces, so they were controlling this jail. But the Ukrainian army pushed them away, and the fight is ongoing at the very edge of the settlement. So Ukrainian infantry was spotted there. Let me cross-check. Yeah, that's the Russian video actually, the compilation of how they operate against Ukrainian infantry that was spotted there. Well, Russian force military base strikes UA targets, possibly indicating Ukraine re-establishing full control over Mala Tokmachka and Bilahiria. So there is the presence of Ukrainian army here, and Bilahiria is even further away. So if you wonder about vectors, it looks like that. Russians still cannot capture Mala Tokmachka. Moreover, Ukraine even pushes them away, but Ukraine is under the drone fire almost everywhere along the front lines, as well as the Russian army. So it's the drone warfare nowadays. Alright, what is interesting that in Konstantinivka the situation is without any changes for the last week. Well, the fight there is ongoing, but without the visible territorial gains of the Russian army, I mean new gains. Since Putin has reported that Konstantinivka is fully occupied, there is no movement. Well, maybe Russian generals believe in their own nonsense that they have occupied Konstantinivka, so there are no major attack attempts any longer to occupy it really. Just some of the new small infiltration groups are being spotted in the southern part of the city, nothing more. And in Pokrovsk direction there was just a very slight move of the Russian armed forces for the last 24 hours. Here we have the map showing the Russian attack vectors near Sukhetsk, Dorozhny and Zatishok. I use the maps of Michael's analyst all the time in my videos, so this vector map and also interactive map. Very precise data he has, publishing the new updates very often. The deep state military map is also good, but if we speak about the Ukrainian territorial gains here, they usually do not uncover the information for several days already. Now they have this new policy. Mainly they show the Russian territorial gains, what is being confirmed. So for the last day they just confirmed the advancement of the Russian army not far away from Pokrovsk and Mirnograd, the one that I've just showed you. So I would say that there are still movements on the front line, but they're very minor. Since 2023 Russia hasn't advanced with that slow pace, and it's evident for all of the analysts around the world that Russia bogged down in Ukraine, and Ukraine is little by little taking initiative. And it seems like Russia has again lots of the losses in their vessels. Those are mainly commercial ships, those are not navy really, it's just the name for this statistic, so 17 plus of the ships per the last night. And in a few hours, of course, there will be the video published by Magyar Birds. We're gonna see all of those ships being kaputted, and I'm gonna share it also on load censorship platforms like, for example, Telegram. I have the group there, sometimes I share those kind of the videos. So plus 17, the last time it was totally 75 of the ships per the last 5 days. So the total number for the last week alone is 92 ships which were severely damaged or completely cancelled by those drone strikes. Well, Russia still has lots of those tankers left in Russia itself, but the main idea for Ukraine was to close the Azov Sea, and Russia yesterday officially did it. They closed the passage across the Kerch Bridge, and Russian marine authorities do not give new permissions for the vessels to operate. So probably they have several of the tankers or tugboats or grain ships left there, and Ukraine operates against those, so plus 17 per day. Yeah, some of the pro-Russian channels are saying that, oh, it's unreal, like so many ships, but the videos are being presented, all of those drones, all of the burning ships there, you can look through them. Magyar publishes those on his YouTube channel. You might put Magyar on YouTube or Magyar drones and cross-check all of the videos, calculate every ship with the pencil, yeah, okay, one ship, another, and you will have the same number. So it's the evidence presented by Ukrainian drone army. And some of the really delusional pro-Russian influencers, they are telling that it's all CGI or it's all video games, but there are tons of the other videos filmed by the crews or filmed by the eyewitnesses at the shore of how those ships are being hit. And honestly, no one cares what those pro-Russian influencers say. The main thing that Ukraine does the job and does it effectively with the actual proofs. And you know, even the Russian military bloggers like Rybar, Military Informant, they're saying that definitely those are the real numbers and the situation is catastrophic for Russia in Azov Sea. Alright, a usual morning for the Russian Federation. This is Caesarean Refinery, which turned into volcano. You may see a big, huge cloud. Yep, it is turning right to the distillation unit of this refinery. A fantastic strike. And those cables which they put there, they do not help. Still, drones are kind of heavy to get through them and to deliver the payload straight to the target. This is the zoomed out image, so there were several strikes and fire continues. Yeah, the situation for Russian refineries is not that great. The fuel crisis in Russia will deteriorate. One drone flies. Oh, this tower. Okay. It's not that important, but it was just on the way, I guess. Yeah, this picture really shows the scale of this refinery kaput. So 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, 5 origins of the fire. This is one of the most successful Ukrainian single strikes on a refinery like that. So lots of the targets are being hit on the territory. And here's the video itself showing the real aftermath of attack. Crazy. Yeah, for sure it will stop the... Oh, more fire is happening. Those are oil storages and they're on fire. So -1 more refinery for Russians, and repairing it doesn't make sense because Ukrainian drones may visit it again and again. By the way, Omsky refinery that was visited several days ago for the first time, it is really far away from Ukraine, 2,500 kilometers. Well, it stopped the operation because the very sensitive part of it was hit. What the fuck? The news has just been published 2 minutes ago by Clash Report. United States Senator Lindsey Graham has died. Statement from the office of United States Senator Lindsey Graham. On the evening of Saturday, July 11, Senator Lindsey Graham passed away from a brief and sudden illness. Senator Graham's family appreciates prayer. What? Jesus Christ. Is it his page? It is his page, right? 2.4 million. Yeah, so it seems like he died. I think he has just visited Ukraine 2 days ago or something. He was kind of cheerful, like what kind of the sudden illness? Is it a stroke? Is it something else? Just yesterday those photos were shared in internet. He took the photo with P-Sun, Ukrainian drone interceptor, P1 Sun, and P-Sun means dick. Cheers. And of course those long flights, jet lag, it may also influence the health. So he has just arrived to the United States, it seems like, and he died. Well, even though I didn't like the guy, but he was an advocate for Ukraine, yeah? He was propelling Ukrainian interests, not always. I remember how he was harsh towards Zelensky after that famous or infamous Oval Office meeting between Zelensky and Donald Trump. Also, I didn't like his other takes on international politics, yeah, you know what I mean. But in general, he was anti-Russian regime guy, he was supporting the sanctions against Russia, he wanted to increase those, and yeah, overall, it is bad for Ukraine that Lindsey Graham passed away, because he personally had the access and at least partial influence on Donald Trump. So yeah, it's kind of sad. And he was 71 years old, and Donald Trump is 80, and he eats McDonald's and stuff. I would say that Donald Trump has kind of the redundant health at his age, judging on his lifestyle. And yeah, Lindsey Graham, rest in peace. Oh hell, the situation in the Middle East is crazy, guys. It's escalating once again. One more vessel was hit in the Strait of Hormuz, so Maritime trade operations say that this vessel, Galaxy name, was hit, and the Trade Operations Center has said that the crew has now abandoned the ship due to the significant damage the vessel sustained. The crew has embarked into a lifeboat per the report. So the damage is damn significant. Probably the ship is completely lost. Also, the United States Central Command announced it has completed a third round of airstrikes this week against Iranian military targets. So maybe that's why Iran starts to escalate against civilian vessels. The air rains in Bahrain, in United Arab Emirates. Pete Hegseth says Iran made a poor choice, now they pay. Donald Trump again praises Allah and says that 1,000 missiles are locked and loaded, and RGC stated that the Strait of Hormuz is now being blocked for commercial shipping. So the total chaos and the new wave of the escalation, Iran wants to control the Strait of Hormuz. At the same time, it's not okay for the United States of America and I guess for other Gulf countries in the region. Also, Defender says that the war is back on, and yes, I would agree with that. By the way, my friends, I have another channel, it's called Captain Dennis, where I told about this United States-Iran escalation and never-ending story of that war, and there are tons of the other videos. So you may find this channel in the search bar or check out the link below, and there I filmed just some random stuff about United States politics, about my daily vlogs and stuff like that. So different shit is there. So if you are interested more into my personality and some of the opinions that are not referred to Ukraine only, you may check that channel out if you want. Alright, my friends, it's all what I want to say in this video, and please support my job on Patreon. The link for it is in the video description right below, or follow membership of YouTube channel by pressing button join. Yes, if you can. And thank you guys for supporting me in this way, because you are making my job possible. I'm here for you every day filming videos. You're awesome, you're great. And please don't forget to press like to this video, subscribe for the channel. I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.